That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers.
What do you got over there?
Okay, so everybody, I have to say welcome to Camp Strange. My name is Alex Sobin.
And I'm Dave Stokes.
And we're your camp counselors. But I have to say that we are proud fathers now. Fatherhood has never felt so good.
Ugh,
because we are now two fathers to a beautiful young boy named Gary.
Our sweet baby boy Gary's here.
And
he just pulled something out of his pants I saw during the intro.
Okay, so don't ask where my finger was down his pants, but there's a silica.
Hey, a good father checks.
There was a silica pouch where...
Is that what you call those?
Yeah, it's like what you find. They absorb moisture and stuff like that, and you sometimes find them in like shoe boxes or like beef jerky.
Is that the new thing instead of like powdering your balls before you go to Disneyland?
Oh, I did.
Just start taping those to our legs?
Why Disneyland? What are you talking?
What, you don't get sweaty at Disneyland?
I was gonna say more like a Disney World,
Ooh.
Orlando. But yeah, it looked like he was trying to bulge it out,
Pack some heat.
Yeah, I think he was packing in there. So I mean,
Gary, you're a hunter. We all know you pack heat.
We just found him out. I'm gonna toss that over
Are
there.
You?
Should I put it back?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Don't come on, because as soon as you do that, something bad's gonna happen to Gary. He's gonna start molding or something.
Start moisturizing so
Yeah.
much. Okay, I gotta shove this back down the front of his pants now.
He's a 14-year-old boy. You don't go messing with his things.
I thought I found a secret note. I was expecting. What I was really doing is because he has a bunch of pockets on his clothing,
and he's dressed for hunting, not for sunny Southern California.
No, kind of, but he's
What?
actually he's dressed in he's dressed in a turtleneck and green overalls. I mean, I don't know if that's hunting necessarily, but
I would call it hunting. Those big old pouches. He's got a hat.
Looks like he's really ready to sell me some newspapers.
Yeah, that too. Some newspapers and some meat.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a mushroom hunter. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm going to put him back over here, though. But we are the proud fathers. David had just met him tonight. This was your first time meeting Gary.
Yeah. We recorded the last two episodes back to back, and we were out, doing our Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And haven't seen each other in a while, so yeah.
I received Gary in a box. You guys saw the video. If you haven't, go check it out. But me and Gary have had some time to bond over the past week.
Yeah. We should also. I mean, you have to mention, because
I think we're going to mention the same thing.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead? You got it.
The upsettingness of all of our peers and loved ones when we mentioned that we received Gary, because we didn't initially tell them that we were adopting.
It's usually not a thing you say until the adoption goes through.
Yeah, you don't run adoption by your family at all. No. So
you don't want to get everybody's hopes up, and then if something falls through and we don't win the eBay bidding of an adoption,
Exactly. So we got Gary, and it seems like everybody, both of our girlfriends, are very upset. Yeah, I'll get into that. So my girlfriend, she's upset. David's girlfriend doesn't even have to be around Gary.
No, she doesn't really care. She's not a fan, but she as long as it doesn't go into our apartment, she does not care.
Okay, but the funniest thing is, my roommate Kyle, you guys might know him from a couple episodes back, but he was in Oregon during this adoption period.
Yep.
I received Gary, and then he came into the house and said, "What is that?" And I said, "It's a haunted doll we bought on eBay." He was genuinely and visibly upset about that. And he goes, why did you buy it? You just I'm like, it's so we can build a rapport with our audience to show that we're committed to this podcast. And he is so upset that I brought possibly bad juju, even though I told him that Gary's a good boy and that he is...
Yeah, see, that's the point that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Was that nowhere in his backstory is he an angry spirit.
Not at all.
He's a happy little boy who just had a unfortunate hunting trip with his papa.
Mm-hmm.
We should have seen if we could have gotten Papa too. I'm assuming Papa's gone, but maybe.
I don't think Papa, he wasn't near a doll when he got shot, or if he even got shot at all. Right?
You're trying to say Gary was carrying our now Gary and he absorbed it?
I mean, maybe he got shot. They never said that he was out hunting. Maybe he was at a toy store. You never know. I'm just saying, I don't know how
No, he
spirits.
was hunting.
I don't know how spirits get into dolls, but he ended up in the doll. Father maybe didn't, but usually it's only tragic accidents that. Did he blink?
He kind of darted his eyes at me real quick.
But I was gonna say it's only tragic accidents that happen that make people want to, unfinished business. Tragic accidents make them want to stay on Earth and possibly take the form of a doll. Have you seen Child's Play? Chucky was, he died in a toy store.
Yeah.
Charles Ray Lee,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop over to eBay real quick.
You're gonna look for his father right now?
No, not so much. I'm gonna just search what happens if we look for a haunted doll gun.
What does that mean?
Because our boy's a hunter. We need to get him a proper rifle.
Oh, why would you type in haunted doll gun?
Because I don't want a haunted gun to show up. I want one that's
Why
for
can't
a
you just
doll.
type in doll gun?
Yeah.
The gun doesn't have to be haunted. Like this gun broke in the Civil War and it went into this other doll gun.
Whoa.
What?
We might have found a brother for
Haunted
Gary.
doll gun sounds like a punk band.
We need to TM that one.
What? Haunted doll gun?
Yeah, we need to.
It's pretty good.
All right, fine. I'll take haunted out of here. What type of guns can we get for little Gary? Oh, here's a nice. That's G.I. Joe. There's a nice little revolver, a little 6-shooter.
But okay. I do have some supporters. I have to say, some of Gary. My parents, my mom especially, really loves the idea of Gary. She was taking pictures of Gary, sending it to all of her friends. I'm not even kidding. She was sending it to her friends and being like, "Look, Alex just got a haunted doll. Meet Gary." And then her friends were like, "Don't send me that."
Yeah.
So
I can't report the same. I can say just about the opposite. I don't have to single anybody in my life out. I don't think I have a single person in my life besides you that's not upset by the fact that we have a haunted doll.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's pretty mad. Like, they don't even have to be even, like...
In the same house.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Same state.
And he's look, okay, I have a salt rock next to him, a salt rock
Is that
lamp.
why his lips are salty?
Maybe his sustenance, But
Yeah.
it also keeps him in like time out just in case he does, because this is good vibes.
Oh, yeah. Good vibes.
Gary
only.
has good vibes too, but I'm just saying, like, you never know when he's gonna get mad.
You never know with a 14-year-old boy.
I'm not taking him out as much as I probably should be, and he loves the
No.
outdoors.
We need to take him out every time. We should have taken him to the grocery store before we recorded.
Oh,
We should take him every time.
Oh God, they already don't like us over at that grocery store.
I know.
Especially you.
Might as well see if we can get, like, banned. Be kind of fun to get banned from a grocery store for bringing a haunted doll inside, because it's not like I'm ready to do it. Like,
we live in like inner city LA. I bet that's the least of the problems is a guy walking in with a doll.
That's true.
Like, at least you're not covered in shit, because that guy had a doll and he was covered in shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it's gonna be an uphill struggle to be two single fathers.
Yeah, we're new dads.
Yeah, and
There's a lot to learn.
we are technically sharing custody. Not really. You come over for visitation because he lives at my house now.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he's allowed in mine.
no.
A real test would be to see how my dog reacts to it, but no.
Oh, Kuma. Yeah, we should get him over here.
To bring Kuma over, see, you can sniff
Or a baby.
around.
Do you have a baby?
I can get you one.
Cheap?
Cheap. I mean, how cheap you? It's one of those. It's like a tattoo. The money you're willing to spend is going to get you the product you need.
I don't need him for long. So you just get the baby. I only need him for like a good 5 minutes. Just put him next to the doll, see what happens.
There's been a crying baby at my apartment complex. I could probably snatch that up for a little bit. I think it would be a win-win for the mother and the baby.
Ooh, that's like a straight witch move. You can be stealing babies.
Borrowing.
We know about that. We know about baby stealing.
I feel like saying I'm gonna steal a baby is a very harsh way of saying that I might just take a baby for a little bit.
Can I borrow your baby?
Yeah, can I borrow it,
Yeah.
please?
So, I mean, we're happy though. We're happy.
Couldn't be happier.
We got him sitting right here on our desk next to us. His waist does not bend, so he can't sit. He is standing and leaning against the wall. He's going to be a fit guy.
He got some real creaky joints.
Yeah. Okay. We thought his legs were going to be very thin. They're actually very bulky, and they sound like they have metal in them, which I don't get.
The boy has some tree trunk legs. They are thick.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be thick. He probably lives in Alaska, where you got to have some insulation for that body in the cold of winter while you're going out there.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Your chair squeaked and it sounded like you farted.
My chair keeps fucking squeaking. I don't know why it's squeaking. It never squeaks. Now it's squeaking.
Do you have the wrong one? You're supposed to be using that one? There's two chairs that look
No,
identical.
that chair is very squeaky.
Okay, because I knew one of them was.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, I'll just be careful over here.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm-
if you hear some squeaks, it's
Definitely me farting.
definitely Gary farting. I'm kidding, please.
Oh my god.
Gary, please.
Oh my god.
Okay.
His eyebrows just furrowed.
Yeah, he's not happy about that fire check.
I'll turn up the salt rock lamp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're caught up on all of our fatherhood stories.
Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was good.
I had a lot of fun. I was out in the snow.
Nothing too exciting happened. Parents came down, loved Gary, went home. Gary's sad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get to go out to Montana. Got to see some snow, went sledding, ate shit a lot of times.
you shouldn't do that. It's bad for your health.
Yeah. Well, one of our buddies actually like jacked his shoulder up pretty bad. Like he went into a ditch and hit a rock, and yeah, he had like a huge.
You can't sled when you're 28, man. You
Oh,
can't do that.
he's
anymore.
24. I was okay though.
But still,
Made
once
it.
you get over that 20 mark, like when you're a child and you're going 50 miles per hour down the hill in a saucer and you fall off, you're very rubber like. You
Yeah,
can stand
but at the
right
same
back
time, as a
up.
child, 6 miles per hour feels like you're going 100. So
Yeah, true. Were you guys tubing or saucering? What were you doing?
I started on a saucer, and I quickly learned that you really have no control of a saucer.
What do you have control of when you're going down a hill? A toboggan?
I don't know. Like a normal sled, this one's just like you spin and you go whatever direction it feels like. The other ones you can at least kind of plant a heel and turn.
Oh, okay.
But
I get that.
yeah, and the road we're going down was definitely not a straight shot, and there were lots of turns, and I ate shit a lot.
Were you going down like a residential road, or are you going down a hill?
I was going down.
I've done the road.
It's like a gravel road. It's like a kind of like a farm road,
That's a hard landing.
if that makes sense. I guess
That's
it's like a rural, like
Rural.
rural,
I get that. It's like a
but it's a very long, windy, steep road.
Okay.
And I had Kuma running with me at one point. I had him on my lap, and he wasn't really digging it. And then I started to go over an edge, and I tossed him. He was fine. He was way better off getting tossed than me going over the side of a cliff like I did.
Yeah. It's like, take the lesser of two injuries. Here you go, Kuma. Pass
Oh, he was fine.
Yeah. Like
The
I
dog
said,
loved it,
they're
snow.
rubber. Those dogs are rubber. Rubber dog.
Yeah, sure. You're not dog sitting ever again.
Like, he survived when I dropped him down off the balcony. Okay,
he's
I think he's fine. Okay, so but yeah, I think that's all the news we had to report on. Should we just jump into these stories?
Let's get it.
Okay, so I have to tell you that today is a very special episode
Yeah.
because it is an episode chock full of our brothers our brothers and sisters from the different celestial.
From another star.
It's an
My brother from another star.
Yeah, it's a alien episode. So we're doing heavy aliens, and we never do aliens for some reason. I think the reason we never do aliens is because of the fact that who's calling me?
Is it Chris?
No, I'm not answering that. No, it's not.
He just walked by.
Oh, but we never do aliens, and I think it's because the majority of the time it's like, hey, it's this guy named Brian, and he saw a flying saucer, and you're like, oh, that doesn't hold up as well. So
Yeah.
we try to do some research, and we got some good stories for you.
Yeah.
So I'll start first, and
And we didn't plan this. We just happened to both do alien stories, and like we've said before in previous episodes, we don't tell each other like what story we're doing until we're doing it. But we'll just be like, hey, my topic is like aliens, and it'd be like, so obviously we don't do the same story, but we like to fill each other in like kind of the topic or like small.
we'll do like a checklist. So we'll be like, oh, what is yours about? And I'll be like, murder. And he'd be like, okay, mine's about a haunting. So like, but if we both go haunting, then we go, okay, well, now more details.
Yeah,
so,
like where is it? Yeah.
just in case.
But so we were both like, oh, aliens.
Like, well, fuck.
Yep.
So what I will be talking about today will not be a particular alien story, but an alien conspiracy having to do with none other than the Catholic Church and the Vatican.
I feel like you talk about the Vatican a lot.
I've talked about
You got beef?
I've talked about the Vatican before, is because there's a lot of mystery revolving around the Vatican because it's so old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I will actually get into right now. So,
Okay. Tell me how old it is.
it's actually 512 years old.
Ooh.
So I thought it would be much older, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, Vatican City was only founded in 1920s or 30s. So
Really?
yeah, because
Damn.
it's
I don't know. I don't know anything. I almost said I don't know nothing. Yikes.
But it's a independent it's like unincorporated territory. It's its own thing. Vatican City, it's its own entity. It's not a part of Italy.
So it's like Washington D.C.
Exactly, it's like a district, So
Okay.
but since forever, the Vatican has been a hotbed of conspiracy theories, from murder to mystic and supernatural artifacts. But the conspiracy theory that has been explored the most and researched the most is the Vatican's proof of alien existence. And I was wondering why so many people believe that the Vatican would have information on aliens, but in the end it does kind of make sense, because the Vatican, being 512 years old, is one of the oldest cultural centers still around today. Like, one of the other ones is like the library at Alexandria, which Julius Caesar burnt down.
Okay.
It just had I read today that burning the Library of Alexandria set humanity back 1,000 years, because it's just had all of these new inventions and marvels in medicine and all these really knowledgeable things. It even had in the Library of Alexandria had the first medical school and stuff like that. And when it got burnt down, it just basically fucked over civilization.
Yeah. So it's really old, like the YMCA down the street.
Yeah, but there's less naked guys in the... Oh, never mind.
Oh.
I was going to say there's less naked old guys in the Vatican, but
That's not true.
That's so not true.
So a lot of ball play.
No, yeah, so
I mean, basketball, soccer, indoor soccer.
testicles. So they have records going back hundreds of years, and I mean the Vatican, not the YMCA.
Yeah.
So they have records going back hundreds of years, and that are actually still intact, but not necessarily accessible.
That laminating machine really came in handy back then.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should see some of what these archives look like. They look beat up. They look like what you're supposed to, Indiana Jones would pull off, or there's a mummy spell in there.
What was that book? We saw at that distillery. It was an original copy of Moby Dick?
No, it was H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Yeah, but it was original press
Also,
of that, and that thing was even, felt like it was going to disintegrate in your hand.
Because that whiskey place was called Lost Souls, right?
Spirits.
Lost Spirits, and they based it off of H.G. Wells' book, which is The Time Machine was a big one, and then also Island of Dr. Moreau.
Okay.
And they had first editions of those. That place is so fucking cool.
That was really cool.
If you guys come to LA and you like whiskey, go to Lost Spirits, and it's a Willy Wonka tour, and it's fucking crazy.
It's Willy Wonka and Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's just there's a boat you get on, and it's fucking nuts.
An insanely good whiskey.
Yeah, so basically, like I said, there are a lot of these archives, but they're not accessible to the public, which makes people extremely curious on what they are actually hiding. A lot of people believe that most of the alien information the Catholic Church has is in the Vatican Secret Archive, and the Vatican Secret Archive is a real thing. It's not something that conspiracy theorists are like, hey, you ever heard about that? The Vatican's yes, we have a secret archive, but you're only allowed to access it if you're 75 years old and high up in the Vatican. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I mean, they have probably other people that are younger that maybe, patrol it and protect it, but it's 52 miles of shelving and 32,000 archives deep. We're told, no one's really going down there, especially journalists and stuff like that, who are trying to find out, but that's the rumor. The archives indexes are not public, and like I said, only 75-year-olds can scholars who are over. Once they're 75, they're allowed to access the secret library.
Okay.
And it's housed in a fortress bunker. It's crazy. It's underneath the actual Vatican. Some people even believe that the Vatican is holding living, breathing alien creatures within the maze below the city of the Vatican.
I feel like we talk about that?
We touched on it, I think, a little bit because
that sounds familiar.
Oh no, you're thinking of Montauk. When Kyle brought up Montauk, he was talking about underneath that city.
No.
Oh yeah, you know about that.
Yeah, I know about that.
But a little side note, which is really interesting, is that one of the things they actually do have in the secret archive is a letter from Mary, Queen of Scots, who was executed after being forced to abdicate her throne and serving nearly 20 years in custody. And the note she wrote was a plea note after she was sentenced to death for conspiring to murder Queen Elizabeth. And she basically sent it to the Pope and wrote a desperate letter begging for her life, slamming the heretics that would eventually kill her because she did get beheaded.
Just a big old slam dunk.
Because the Pope did not intervene and she was beheaded in 1587. So
yeah, that was a reverse slam dunk. She went to dunk it, and they blocked it so hard it flew across the court and went into there for 3 points.
But that's a pretty cool, like, article. Yeah, in the basket.
In the basket.
It's not a hoop, it's a basket.
Ball.
It's a wicker basket.
Yeah, with no bottom.
Yeah. Oh, God, I would hate to be a part of the beheading cleanup.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think they just
Do
kind
you
of
think
left
they had a
it.
splash zone around, like, the guillotine?
I think it was pretty well known that, like, hey, you're a little close, bud. Back it up. Like,
Okay. I mean, but there has to be...
you see one person get splashed, and I don't think you're going to forget about that.
Well, the thing is, do you think that people vary in their neck spraying of once they get their head chopped off? Do you think some people are like sprayers and other ones aren't?
I think that's completely depends on how high their blood pressure is.
I was about to say that, which has to be high. I mean, I don't think anybody's going into that like really calm, but at the same time, ooh, good question.
A lot of red meat.
Would you rather have your face facing up towards the blade or down so you can't see when the blade hits?
Down. Why would you want to look at it?
I don't know. It's
What
just
what would be the advantage of looking up?
to know when it's about to happen.
That shit happens so fast that won't make a difference.
I know, but like at least it'll definitely hit your jugular and kill you instead of like going through the back of your neck if it's like a shitty blade.
If
it goes halfway through the back of your neck, that's bad.
I don't think that was very common.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not an expert on the guillotine.
You're not?
On the guillotine? I'm not.
Well, I am.
So just outside of Rome, here's a couple other things that we're going to touch on, which makes people question whether the Vatican does have ties with aliens. Because there's a couple things that you go, okay, that's kind of weird. Why are they even dabbling in that? So just outside of Rome is a small town called Castel Gandolfo. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, there's a sandwich shop called Gandolfo's, and every time someone talks about that, I laugh.
Where's the sandwich shop?
There were some in Montana, some in Idaho. I think there's some in Oregon. I don't think it's a very big one, but it's like, you know, it's a multi-state chain. But every time somebody like, oh yeah, you want to get lunch at Gandolfo's, I laugh.
It's a bad name.
It's a great name.
It sounds weird, yeah, especially for a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
But in this town resides a satellite Vatican estate where the Pope resides. He resides in the summer months, and so he's just like fucking chilling. And also a headquarters for Vatican astronomers. Which is weird. I have no idea why.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that a religion
exactly
like
right?
that would be like, hey, we should look into those stars.
So within the complex lies two massive roof domes that can be opened up to reveal two gigantic telescopes used to study the heavens since the 1930s. Why do they even have these in the first place? Because doesn't science kind of go against religion? Maybe they were trying to see God.
They were trying to cut it off. You know, if something's going to happen, they needed to be like, well, it's happening because of this reason, because of God.
Well,
like,
I mean,
they didn't want to be caught off guard by anything.
I guess. I mean, especially in the 1930s, where like they're very against science, and they're just like, you know, still astronomers, and it's kind of like a interesting thing. But I guess if they context it in like God created the heavens, and we're looking at the heavens, and you know we're paying homage to God, then. I don't know. You could maybe swing it, but...
Maybe they just have so much fucking money they don't know what to do with it.
Probably 1930s money, too. I don't know. So, the Catholic Church, another thing, the Catholic Church now states that if there is extraterrestrial life out there, that it is created by God himself.
Yeah.
The sudden change in the idea...
They're like,
that
dibs.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that the sudden change in the idea that humans are God's children, they've said like humans are the only thing, and now they're like, well, aliens are God's children too. It throws up a bunch of red flags, which means that the church is either guessing or they have proof of aliens.
They're throwing up a Hail Mary, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, dinosaurs? Yeah, no, dibs on those two. They were Satanists.
Exactly. Either way, they're trying to solidify and preserve the Catholic Church teachings. They're just like, yeah, like, you know, yeah, aliens. Oh, yeah, no, they exist. If they exist, then they're a part of us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So they have
Again,
stated
we're not trying to knock on anybody's religion, but we're just making fun of the 1930s.
No, I mean, I feel like most people who are religious, they don't knock science as much as, except for like maybe Christian scientists. Not that I have anything against them, but like just, you know, get your medicine, you know?
Oh, is that who does like the whole?
They don't go to like
Okay.
chemo if they have cancer, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people who are very religious now are just like, oh, of course, science, aliens, you know, whatever. The possibility. But
It's like, have they seen Jurassic Park? That shit's real.
have they seen Jeff Goldblum? He is God sent.
He covers both spectrums on that. He's in Dinosaurs and Aliens.
He is Independence Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get a crossover.
We should get him on this. But
How insane would that be if Jeff Goldblum
fucking
just
crazy.
comes in through an episode?
He would be the guy if like you just randomly emailed him and he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You see-
Oh, yeah, cool, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the most public evidence came in November of 2009 when the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, the Vatican Science Department, held a conference of over 30 scientists and the religious leaders in Rome. The subject: life on other planets, its possibility, and its ramifications.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. I think you could either say that they have had a little heads up and they've maybe experienced something, or they're just like, hey, we're trying to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
If aliens do come down, what are we gonna do?
Roll
You know?
with the punches.
That's why you said like they kind of did a shout out like dibs.
Yeah.
They belong to us.
Dibs.
So
Sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm tweeting Jeff Goldblum at the moment with our account.
what are you tweeting him?
Does he have a Twitter?
I doubt it. I doubt he uses it, if anything. Right? I mean,
here's an at Jeffrey Goldblum.
does he have a blue check?
He doesn't have a blue check.
Oh man, we'll have to do some research into that and try to find him. Are you still gonna tweet this guy?
I'm still gonna fucking tweet him.
Like, can you get in contact with the real Jeff
All
Goldblum?
caps, yo, I don't care if you're the real one. Get on this podcast, daddy.
Blocked.
Yo, I feel like I just had
An aneurysm.
Oh, that actually relates to my story later.
Ooh. Well, we'll get back into
No,
mine.
I was saying I had some deja vu.
Oh, that's weird. Well, we do this podcast weekly, so maybe.
No, I just remember calling Jeff Goldblum daddy over a tweet.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very specific. And you've probably done that before.
daily thing.
You've probably done it before drunk. So, in 1977, this one was kind of a weird one, but in 1977, U.S. President Jimmy Carter, one of the only presidents who has claimed to see a UFO, which is pretty weird for a president to say that out loud, wanted to release all of the U.S. information known about extraterrestrial existence to the public. He asked the Library of Congress to reach out to all possible sources regarding UFO intelligence, but when the library's contact reached out to the Vatican, they were not once, but they were twice denied of any information about alien intelligence. So the U.S. government's like, "Hey, you guys got any things?" They're like, "No." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, for as much as like the astronomer things, like you don't believe that they would just at least like throw some shit out there, like, oh, like yeah, we think this, like at least like try to like push God a little bit, like being like,
Yeah.
we found aliens and they're Christ-like, you know. But I just thought that was so weird that like even a president came out and be like, hey, I saw a UFO, and you're like, fuck, we voted for this guy.
Yeah.
Not saying that they don't exist, but I just mean a
Yeah.
lot of people are skeptical.
It would be
It's a controversial statement.
Yeah, it'd be a smarter move for a president to just, if they saw a UFO, to just not really mention it, because you're not going to swing more voters saying you saw a UFO than you would if you just didn't say anything.
The people who believe in UFOs like wholeheartedly, and I mean, I do think aliens exist. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying the people who are like really heavy into this are also the people who are just like not voting because they don't trust the government, so they're just not going to the voting polls altogether.
Yeah.
So, another thing that was kind of weird is an email apparently released by WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, has revealed ex-spaceman Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man on the moon, wrote to American politician John Podesta to tell him the Vatican knows extraterrestrials exist and wants to share 0-point energy with us. 0-point energy.
0 point what?
It's called 0-point energy.
It's 0 point what? Like 0.5, 0.6?
No, it what it is well,
it's a bad measurement.
First thing is Podesta. He also told Podesta that a space war is imminent, and and said that because the war in space race is heating up, I felt you should be aware of several factors as you and I schedule our Skype talk.
Yeah,
that's so weird that like the sixth man on the moon and John Podesta, who was like
they're talking about space race wars.
Well, no. Is that they're Skyping?
Yeah,
like you think there'd be like a
FaceTimers, right?
They get really mad about not using government emails, and then all of a sudden there's like fucking on Skype. Like you think like some like coder at like the Skype company's like, hey, dude, this is a really weird conversation. I'm looking at right now, and so
they used Omegle.
Yeah, exactly, right. He's like, oh, that's a guy's penis.
Yeah.
So the former NASA astronaut is also said to have revealed how benevolent aliens, like I said, wish to share 0-point energy with people of Earth. And the technology would apparently open up the possibility of extracting free energy from empty space.
Hey, I like free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what all that black matter or was it called dark energy? Not black matter, dark energy? Apparently, dark energy takes up 99% of the universe, and we don't know what it is.
We don't know what 99% of the universe is.
Well, no, they're saying that's why they call it dark energy. Like you can't call it. I mean, they named it something, but like maybe in 100 years they'll name it something else. But it's basically this energy that they can't really identify. So they're calling it dark energy. So we need some 0-point energy now.
Right now.
Maybe that's what Teslas are made out of. Who knows? But
come on, Elon.
Yeah, maybe he's an alien. I mean, he does really, really, really want to go to Mars.
What do you mean? Maybe he's an alien? No, like guy's 100% not fucking human.
He's like, you want PayPal? Here we go. I'm your PayPal. But you know what's interesting? I just saw a interview with him, and these guys are interviewing him, and they go, "Hey, what do you think about Mars? When are you gonna land on Mars?" And he goes, within my lifetime, we're going to land on Mars. And they go, oh, okay, cool. And he goes, I'm definitely trying to go to Mars. And they go, so do you think Mars is going to be, because they go, is it going to cost a lot? And he goes, yeah, it's going to cost a lot to go to Mars, obviously. And he goes, do you think that's going to be a haven for the ultimate wealthy people to escape this planet to survive? And he's like, no. He's like, it's Mars. Are you serious? And he goes, I'm not even kidding. He goes, the first thing you got to do is survive the travel to Mars, then land on Mars, and then all you're going to do the entire time is help build the space station on Mars, which is extremely deadly and it is the most one of the most inhabitable planet or not.
So what you're saying is we're going to lose Terry Crews, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We're going to lose all of our big beefy wealthy people.
No, he's saying the opposite. He's saying that there's no way if you want to survive, stay on Earth. Like, do not go to Mars. And he's like, there's still, with everything going right, there's still a high probability chance of dying. And then getting back to Earth from Mars is like...
Yeah, it's a one-way ticket.
Yeah, well, you have to wait for, like, the orbit a certain spot, like, for Earth to be traveling around the sun to line up with Earth properly. Exactly. And it's like, so you have to stay there for 5 years, too. And he's like... And they're like, you want to... He's like, the guy's like, you want to go to Mars then? You'll die. And he's like, why do people, traverse the oceans and stuff like that, even though it's super dangerous? Like, some people just like the challenge. And I'm like,
why do people go up, the crazy-ass mountains?
Oh, that's what he said. He said, why do people climb Mount Everest even though they know hundreds of people have died on it? Some people like the challenge. You literally
walk by the dead bodies on your way up.
They're markers.
Yeah.
They named them. They're called, red...
They're like, oh, so you're at this guy. That means you're this far.
There's a guy called, Red Boots or something. That's, a marker. And then another guy wrapped in an American flag.
I'm pretty sure they just recently, within the last, couple years, identified Red Boots. People didn't know who it was for a long time. They finally identified him.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody had to know he was up there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that so many people die up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and most of them don't even get seen because they're just covered with... You have to wait for, a thawing.
You get buried.
That's a body right there.
Yeah.
Riddled with oxygen tanks, too, because you can't carry those.
Yeah.
But we're digressing too much.
We do that.
But
deal with it.
The last thing, which I think is the most interesting evidence that aliens exist, and the Vatican knows about it, is that in 1998 there were excavations done underneath the Vatican's secret archive. They're just like remodeling and stuff like that. They gotta look nice too.
Yeah.
And one of the workers found a couple strange skulls while digging.
Ooh.
They were elongated, extended skulls with oversized, slanted eye sockets, small mouths and nose openings, and giant dome-like craniums bearing a similar resemblance to a type of alien known as a gray.
Small gray. Were they large grays? Small grays?
Well, I mean,
medium grays?
Small grays still have large heads, so I feel like all grays have the same size heads but different size bodies.
Yeah,
I
that's
could
fair.
be completely wrong.
That's fair.
But after...
Yeah, but where are they? Where are these skellies at?
Obviously, they got... That's why people believe that they have live aliens in there, beneath the Vatican, is because they found these skulls and they're like, oh, maybe they buried them, because they bury the dead.
For the most part, you do.
But after the discovery of the strange skulls, Pope John Paul of the Vatican military closed all access to the site. So he closed all access. He's like, no more workers, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He said that verbatim, get the fuck out of here.
No, I've heard plenty of popes say
He
those.
went, Jesus fucking Christ.
What the fuck you idiots doing down here?
So he closed it all up, and in the end, its conclusion was best summed up by Sister Judy Mebosa, a Catholic nun, stating, quote, whatever those remains represent, there's a reason why the good fathers buried them there to be forgotten.
Man, you always come out with these great endings. I usually am just like, yeah, I'm done writing.
So
I'm done. I'm gonna
I'm
call
done.
it there.
I'm done. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of weird evidence. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't just be like, hey, these were soldiers from the Royal Guard or something. You know what I mean?
These ones are from Chernobyl.
Yeah, like why didn't they just come out and say something if like that wasn't the case? But there's so much mystery, and like the archive is so gigantic, they have to have at least some secrets down there. Like, if not aliens, they have to have some, long sought after questions that, that people have been wondering for a long time, especially about like ancient history. So I don't know. It's really interesting, and I hope that the Vatican knows. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But
I mean, at this point, like, who gives a shit? If you know there's aliens, just fucking let us know.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing where the people, the masses would go crazy. You know what I mean?
So? I think most people be like, oh, that's sick.
I would.
I mean, no.
I would be a little scared, though.
It would be really cool, but it's like, I don't know. They haven't really done anything to us yet. I mean, that could have been the big old bang-a-rooski for the dinosaur. Maybe the dinosaurs were just like, yeah, fuck aliens, and then they're like, oh, fuck us, huh? And then they swoop through.
Yeah, maybe it was an alien saucer that hit, and that wasn't an asteroid.
You ever seen the first episode of Futurama?
Mm-hmm.
The part when he first gets frozen, and it's like showing like
he tips back in his chair.
Yeah, but he's in the thing, and it does like I think.
The time by the window, and it shows like
it shows like aliens like come through and destroy the civilization
3 times.
Yeah, like 3 times, and it rebuilds. But yeah, maybe that's what happened. But
I mean, it could be. I always get made fun of back in my friend group back home because I said
they exist too. You're not making it up.
Like, I'm really popular back home, I swear. But I always get made fun of because I said that there was a possibility that, like, you ever heard of the theory that Earth is just like a flying disc, like it's flat? No. The idea that Earth is like a experiment where they've taken like animals and creatures from every other planet and they put them on this to see how they interacted, and I was like, that means that there could be a possibility of a planet with just zebras on it, and they all think it's the funniest fucking thing it's ever heard.
It's a funny thing to think of, but it's like nothing's impossible.
Exactly.
Like that could happen.
Thank you. I feel like they're also just like, I give so many people shit back home, like I give all my friends shit, so I think like, they're just like, oh, watch this, he's kind of sensitive about the fact that like we're all laughing at him, so they're just not gonna let up.
Yeah, your buddy looks really good in those skinny jeans. You make fun of him, but deep down you're like, he does look pretty good in those. Kind of that thing, right?
And then deep down he's thinking, hey, there might be a zebra planet. So I mean, we don't have to say it. It's an unspoken bond.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure.
Yeah. So the Vatican definitely knows about fucking aliens, and they definitely have them down there, and they just need to share them.
I think the worst thing for me in my train of thought when it comes to the whole aliens thing is it's just like, yeah, there's other life in the universe, but like, what if we're the more advanced ones that just like we're the ones that are supposed to be flying over to them with flying saucers, like, and they're just like still like cavemen or some shit, and it's we're the advanced civilization that hasn't gotten their shit together yet.
There's definitely planets in the galaxy, I mean, in the universe that are just like, they have to be like microbes, you know what I mean? Like they were us billions of years ago. So it's like there has to be, but I don't think, I mean, that would be shitty if we were like the most advanced.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
We're doing pretty good, but I mean,
I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, like, we get to a planet and just us like 15 years ago, and they're like, oh shit, look at their iPhones. Like,
wouldn't that be crazy if we just like flew to a planet and then we landed and we get out and they're like, they look exactly like us, but it's the early 2000s, and they're like, I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da.
Exactly. They don't even have smartphones.
Like, and you're like, oh my god, it's exactly like Earth, but they're 20 years behind.
It's like Canada.
Yes.
So that's a bad joke.
But yeah, so I mean, who knows? Hopefully I'm not.
That is a good question. Who does know?
The Vatican fucking knows.
That's who we're trying to figure it out.
So that's my
man.
story, and
all right.
hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Should I just jump on in?
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, we're gonna do another alien story.
Aliens.
I don't know if I sound different.
Why?
No, this
you just get probed.
This has nothing to do with that. I've just had a cold. I just want to say if you could hear me clearing my voice every now and then, which I can only assume it will be worse while I'm talking more. I'm not here to bitch and moan. I'm just saying if I'm coughing or just clearing my throat, that's why I'll try not to do it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
So here at Camp Strange, we have talked about a few fun little stories of alien abductions, some by celebrities, others by, nerds and lab coats getting annihilated in underground laboratories.
Yeah, they definitely got annihilated.
Yeah. Just torn in half.
Through portals.
But I thought, it's funny because like Toad and I were just both coming in together, and we were both just like, yeah, like someone said like we want more alien stories, and then we both like actually did it on our own, and we're like, let's do an alien story separately. Yeah. So I thought it would be fun to take it back to the basics a little bit, and we'll talk about the first time one of them little bastards snatched one of us up and did weird shit to our butts. I'm talking about the first abduction.
No, aliens, not uncles.
Not uncles. Aliens.
You were thinking uncles, right? Oh.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like aliens could be, the human race's uncle. They watch from a distance. They do weird shit to our butts.
It's fucked up.
They're always fucking my crops up.
Big gray heads.
Yeah, huge gray heads that they can't balance a toupee on. Large but still beady eyes.
I'm picturing your fucked up uncle right now.
Which one? Oh man, I'm kidding. I have great uncles.
I love you, David.
David, come here. Bring me cranberry sauce. More turkey.
Pork ribs in my mouth.
More sugar.
Sugar water.
Sugar.
That's a Men in Black reference.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway.
Oh, do you see the new one they're coming out with?
MIB 23?
No.
They're doing a crossover with 23 Jump. What?
Yeah, that got booted.
Fuck.
No, they're rebooting it with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Okay.
AKA the duo from Thor 3, which I think is pretty
she's good. I didn't know who that was for a second.
I do. I like her. She's good.
That should be fun.
Okay, so this event, like I was saying, is the first quote-unquote abduction, which it kind of is, kind of isn't. I'll get into that later. Mm-hmm. But so this event takes place the night of September 19th, 1961 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Aliens love New Hampshire.
Well, they just love mouths of the port.
Oh, well, they don't love. We all know they don't love mouths. They love anuses.
Maybe they love mouths so much they're like, we gotta save that for last, so let's start the other end.
True. Yeah, they want to preserve the mouth.
It's like when
we can go in through the mouth, but we're gonna fuck up the mouth. So let's just go in through the anus, and then
it's like when you're saving that best bite for last. You got that on the plate.
Yeah. Okay.
Saving the best bite for last.
You're grossing me out.
Yeah, I do that. So Barney and Betty Hill were driving. Yeah, Barney and Betty.
They seem too fat and white for my liking.
Really?
No, I don't know. It's the 60s. People were like named Barney, but I picture like
Barney's an awesome name. Let's bring it back.
I just picture like Barney and Betty. Like, I don't like alliteration in couple names. It just freaks me out a little bit.
Wait, is Barney and Betty? That's not Flintstones, is it? Who are the rebels?
Oh my god. Wait.
It's Barney.
Fred and Wilma and Barney.
Barney and
It is Barney and Betty, dude.
no, it's not.
Yes.
Betsy. No.
I think it's Betty. You got duped, man. You're just gonna
This
fucking
is a fake
read
story. All right, podcast is over. Fucking ending this bullshit.
You're gonna for the next half, for the next half hour. You're gonna describe a Flintstones episode. You're like they're from Bedrock and
I was reading
Barney?
off Clickhole.
God damn it.
No, I actually have to fucking Google this. Is it really Barney and Betty?
Yeah, it's Barney Rubble. I definitely know it's Barney Rubble because you got Barney Rubbo, Trubbo. That's from Ocean's 11.
Well, I know it's Barney.
And then Betty. Yeah, I think his wife's name is
no,
Betty.
it's not. I googled Barney and Betty, and the first thing that comes up is this story.
Yeah, because that's the fucking last thing you Googled.
I'm okay. Well, I use different search engines.
People are at home screaming right now at the radio, being like, "It's blah blah blah." Let me think. Flintstones.
It is Betty.
I knew it.
It is Betty. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Also, I mean, cold take, but both of those females on the show, they were smoke shows.
Big time.
They were good looking. Both those guys were.
Big time.
Man, I miss the days when you could just be a fat dude and get a really hot wife.
Yeah.
Now the standards are so hard.
It's so hard. I mean, we are in LA, but
It's always been.
it's been a hard time for Alex.
Man,
He's put a lot of work.
I wish women would just settle for me now.
Love you, Katie. Yikes. Okay, so Barney and Betty Hill, the Hills. We're gonna call them the Hills, not the
The Rubble.
Rebels.
Barney
Terrible
Rubble.
fucking name.
Rebel scum!
Jesus. Okay, so we're finally getting into the story, huh? So the Hills were driving on a rural highway on their way home when a very life-changing event happened.
They realized that they were named after the Flintstones and drove headfirst into a wall.
Shit, when did the Flintstones first air?
We're never going to get through this podcast.
We're not. You just had to keep your fucking mouth shut about this goddamn Flintstones.
I don't know. Well, you keep talking. I'll find out when they first aired.
Yeah, okay. So the loving couple were thought as an exemplary couple. Barney was a postman and Betty was a social worker. Mm-hmm. They were very active. They were very active in their community and were hugely involved in the civil rights movement. Being that Barney was black,
okay,
and Betty was white. So you made a comment earlier about two white people names. So you were wrong.
I said they're too fat and white for my liking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong. By the way, when was this?
This was 1961.
The first
Fuck,
episode.
I don't like your face right now.
The first episode of the Flintstones aired September 30th, 1960.
Fuck.
They were named. No, they weren't. Were they 1 year old? They weren't named after him. They just.
Were they 1 year old? Yeah, they got married at one.
It's a joke, you dickhead, because you said that were they named after him, and I was like, oh yeah, they're named. You know what? Shut the fuck up, okay, asshole. I know what I'm saying over here, and it was a joke.
I hope it was one of those things that was like, oh, your name's Barney, her name's Betty, you guys should date, and then they got married a year later.
Maybe actually.
You never
Who
know.
knows? Times moved quick back then. People got pregnant before they finished grade school. I'm telling you.
Did they?
Yeah, you know.
But there was a lot of people getting held back.
Not too smart back there.
Yeah, that lead-based paint really fucked that education system up.
Yeah, made them think there were a lot of aliens around. Stop throwing up. What are you doing?
I was burping.
Oh, God.
It's kind of like throwing up. So like I said, like most of these stories go, the Hills were driving their car on an isolated road when they encountered a bright light that appeared to be following them.
Okay.
Then bang, they pull up at their house at 5 a.m., unable to remember anything that happened after the bright light and before arriving home.
Oh, they're drinking some road sodas, huh?
Hopefully. So confused, they went inside, but they were also kind of like fighting the feeling that something terrible had happened to them.
They go outside and see that there's a guy stuck to the hood of their car. They're like, oh, fuck.
They were
We
dragging
blacked out.
a small family
We
underneath their
blacked
station
out.
wagon.
Oh,
So after a while, the memories started to return to the couple, and the memories started to come together, and the Hills were abducted by aliens.
So were aliens as popular as they are now back in the 60s? Like, were they...
So honestly, I think they were more popular.
Okay.
Because from what I was reading, it seemed like a lot of the TV shows and stuff, like a lot of the radio shows, the TV shows and stuff, that all started in like the 40s and then the 50s and stuff.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of like, Twilight Zone stuff, but no one had ever been abducted by an alien.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
that we know of.
yeah, nothing really like super documented was.
Mm-hmm.
So although this is more than likely not the first quote unquote abduction, like I was saying, this would be the first publicized one. So this is like the first time, like
they went to the news.
Exactly. It became a whole thing. And so the story kind of went from the psychologist to a book and then a TV movie. And that melted into the story template used like to this day.
Did they get all that money from that?
No, they're dead.
True. I'm just thinking maybe I should get abducted.
You'd have to go back in time. You'd have to make it.
No, I get abducted now.
Why don't? I mean, you can, but like this is like the original.
Yeah.
This is like the original. Like this is what happened, and then that's how people like tell the story.
Okay, we just have to do something that no one's claimed yet. Like, I got kidnapped by Bigfoot. No one's been kidnapped by him yet, right?
Yeah.
They have.
No one returned, so that could be a gold
I
mine.
returned. You just have to like rip off my arm though. Yeah, he was strong.
We can lose one.
He was strong.
Which one of those shoulders feel a little loose? Which one do you think?
My
will come
left
out?
feels it clicks sometimes. Just
It's good because you're right-handed, right?
Yeah, tear it out.
Right now?
So no, we'll wait.
Oh, okay. We'll wait. Okay.
Yeah, just for a
Cool.
little longer.
So the details the Hills shared would tend to vary, from time to time because it's still they're still trying to get their like mind back, but it would always like stick to the same idea, and there's classic. They were snatched up, tested on with various procedures, and then dumped back on our stupid, slowly and sadly dying rock in space. A little sad moment right there for everybody.
Yeah.
Our Earth is dying.
It's very negligent of the aliens to kidnap people, abduct them while they are driving, and then maybe one of the aliens popped out and drove their car home.
I hope they'd at least pull over and turn it off.
Yeah, or at least like don't let them drive home. Like after you abduct somebody, you go, man, they can't be driving after. They can't be lifting or using heavy machinery, So
Yeah.
hopefully one of the aliens drove it. Imagine a guy like driving next to like the alien. He just like throws up a hand to wave, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that? And he just like drives the car to the house.
And he's just like, fuck, we need to get another one. We need to get this mind out of here.
Two are working the pedal and the brake, and one's
Yep.
working the steering wheel. It's cute.
Oh, you don't know the size of these boys.
Yeah, but it's cute to think that.
Okay.
I think of them like that.
So like I was saying before, at the time of the accident, the Hills could not recall exactly what happened. And later on, the pieces would start to fall together. So I will read to you some of the details that were shared in the book about the event.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in quotes, because I'm basically just going to read a book to you at this point.
No.
Not my words. The Hills stopped for coffee at a roadside diner around 10 p.m., and they figured they would get home somewhere around 3 a.m. Time out. What the fuck? Is that a thing you do in the 60s? Like, hey, let's go get that speedy bean juice at 10 p.m. and then get home at 3 a.m. because I'm a postman, you're a social worker.
That's
fuck this.
super weird. Is that how like people in the 60s, like instead of like going to a bar, there's like you want to go drink coffee?
Is that like another way of like saying things? I know in that show Luke Cage,
like drinking coffee.
Getting coffee is the same thing as boning, bumping Uggs.
Oh, okay. I mean,
But
maybe
no.
they're bumping Uggs.
People don't go to the diner to fuck. I mean, yeah, I'm sure some
You've
people
never
do.
been to, was it Massachusetts? Where were they? New Hampshire?
Jesus, yeah, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire? New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
So-
New Hump? Yeah, sure.
I just don't know who's drinking coffee like at 10.
Yeah,
That's
who goes to
fucking
get
weird.
coffee at 10 p.m. so they can get home at 3? Maybe it's like, that's like if you don't drink, that's what you do.
My weird thing is who's recalling this right now?
They are.
Okay, but so they slowly remembered their blackout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah. Okay, so they would get home at 3 a.m. sometime late. So after this happened, they leave the diner. They're driving. Betty looked out the passenger side window and saw a bright object following them. At her like command, that's a weird thing to say, right? In a book, just like at her command, like why couldn't you just be like, she said, "Hey, pull over." Like she's like commanding. Like I feel like that's painting a bad light on her.
She's like, "Nine." She's like German. I'm commanding you.
But yeah, so Betty asked to pull over. Barney pulled over, parked the car, got out, looked at the object through a pair of binoculars, which
what a creep.
Every good American keeps a pair of binoculars in their car.
I mean, when I was younger, I always wanted like a pocket watch. So do you think like a pocket watch and you had like a pocket watch and binoculars and a switchblade and what else did old people have?
I need my tools.
And a flask, that was another one.
Those sick flashlights from like World War I that were like shaped in an L.
Yeah, maybe a bayonet. They carried just a bayonet around.
Yeah, you don't know what you can attach it to.
People
put my bayonet on my broom.
An old school lighter that you throw into a building. I always had a problem with those action movies.
Talking about Zippos?
Yeah, you know a Zippo lighter where people throw it onto the gasoline as they leave a building? I'll be like, man, you should have just went down and lit the puddle. Now you're out of Zippo.
Yeah, but that's not cool.
It's not cool, but it's.
You know how much those movies cost?
I'm a fiscal conservative.
Yeah. I had one of those Zippos when I was in middle school, and it ran out of
juice.
It ran out of juice, and since I was like 13, couldn't buy it, and so I just turned it upside down, and I sprayed an entire thing of Axe body spray into the sponge, because it was flammable, so I thought, hey, maybe that can fuel this bitch up. It didn't.
Oh my god, that is so fucking stupid.
It didn't.
Well, I mean, like, what the hell are you lighting anyway?
More fires.
I was about to say, maybe it's good that
you know what we used to actually do? We would take Capri Suns. We'd drink them, obviously.
Would you turn them into cell phones?
We would
never mind.
get it real thin,
with
the straw in it, and you'd take the Axe body spray and you'd spray it into the straw so it would inflate.
Okay.
And then you would hold
that's a bomb.
A lighter in front of the straw and you'd slowly squeeze it and it'd be a flamethrower.
No way.
Yeah, we would do that a lot.
That's so cool. You know what I did with Capri Suns?
Drink them.
I drink them and then I fold them in half at like where like the straw was the median
and throw them away.
No, and then and then the straw would be the antenna coming out of the top, and then you fold it into like a flip phone, and you could draw like a thing on it. It's like a phone. So mine was less cool.
Childhood was rough for you, huh?
I was just
You had a big imagination.
My fucking childhood was rough. You're making flamethrowers, dude. I'm just being wholesome as shit.
I did what I had to do to survive.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I was trying to call the fucking cops to get your ass in jail.
Probably. We went burn down like 3 things. It's fine.
Jesus.
So let's go back to the quotes from this book. So it says, the object was a spacecraft with a set of double windows through which Barney could see clearly at least half a dozen living beings in uniform staring back at him. Yeah. They tried to flee from the UFO, and the couple heard a series of loud beeps and felt an odd tingling of drowsiness come over them.
That's cool. They found the brown noise. That's like the brown noise. The brown noise is a noise that you could play and it makes somebody shit their pants, except they found the noise that makes you fall asleep. You know about the brown noise?
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I usually don't shit my pants when I fall asleep.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they found a very similar... And you're a liar,
all right,
so...
all right, what color do we want to call it? The teal noise? What color makes you think of sleep? Like
black noise?
I'm thinking like a baby blue. The periwinkle noise.
No, black.
Black is... No.
What the fuck kind of... like, or maybe like a purple at least, a dark purple.
Okay, what's a word for dark purple?
Velvet?
The velvet noise? I'll take it.
That's cool.
Let's move on.
You fucking brought this up, man.
No, you were talking about brown noises and shit.
Shut up.
So the couple would recall the aliens as little grays, like as I'm sure you guys have heard a million times, not just through our podcast, but in the world.
Little grays are hot right now.
They're real hot. So yeah, little grays, the little gray guys, big black eyes, and
big gray heads, small little slender bodies.
Yeah.
Classic.
So, yeah, they saw little grays and said that they probed them with needles on their saucer-shaped craft.
I thought you were going to say on their sausage.
That's a good breakfast.
Barney's like, my sausage got poked quite a bit, and I don't quite like them little grays no more.
Hey, Betty, my breakfast sausage is out of this world.
I have a feeling Barney sounded nothing like that.
He might have.
But the couple continued to have nightmares and flashbacks until about 2 years later. They saw a psychologist and started.
Took them
fucking 2 years of nightmares of this shit.
Well, you know, back then.
Oh yeah, back then you don't want to get put in a ward.
Psychologist, that was a made-up science.
There's still a red flag.
There's people who are just like shaking from shell shock, and they're just like, "Oh, put a Band-Aid on it."
Yeah, lock them up.
You're crazy now.
Yeah, that's what it was. Honestly, like people were afraid to get help because it was so like. It was such a bad thing to need help in, like, the mental compartment.
Yeah,
Department, not compartment. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you don't... I'm going to throw you in a fucking mental asylum.
It's about time.
I mean, it's like guys going like, I had to kill my best friend. And he's like, well, you know what? I didn't get my fucking Christmas bonus this year. We all have problems, Jim.
Exactly. The couple continued to have nightmares and flashbacks until the time they went and saw a psychologist who didn't believe them, but could also see that the Hills, like, truly believed in themselves. And so that's one thing that I also saw that was noted in what some of the things I read was like, it's like, I think they said it was like 2.5% of people in the United States have claimed to have been abducted at one point.
You said 2.5 people? Who? What?
2.5% of people in the United States have claimed.
2 guys and a dwarf?
Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
What? That's...
it's a little person.
It's an LP. I'm
Who
sorry.
knows?
I'm sorry.
Someone...
I'm sorry if you can't say that. I don't mean that.
Can someone speak up and tell us?
I don't know what's right
Oh,
anymore.
God, it doesn't fucking matter.
I smashed my moral compass on a rock 5 years ago.
Okay, but yeah, so 2.5% of the American population believe that they have been abducted at one point or come in contact with aliens.
That's fucking nuts.
And what I read in that was that when psychologists interview them and stuff, it's that the people who claim this legitimately believe it. Like, they're not lying. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that they're, like, true or it is true, but, like, they, to the bare bones of their soul, like, they believe that happened.
I mean, I was reading another alien story, and they said that these 4 guys claimed that they got abducted, and all 4 of them passed the lie detector test. And it's
Yeah. I mean, those are bullshit. I can tell you a real good story about that, but those are bullshit.
Lie detectors?
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're bullshit or not, but I mean, they do catch some people lying about some stuff, but, like, it just kind of goes to what you're saying, where, like, I don't know how accurate these machines are, but they believed in themselves enough to get past, like, these lie detectors.
It's just heart rate. Anybody that can be calm can pass anything.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, 4 out of 4 people, you don't think one of them might have, like, fucked up or something? I don't think they're all, like...
Yo, if any of our listeners have a lie detector test, can we get that thing through so we can
Come
test
on down. You be on the episode. We'll do lie detector stuff.
We'll let you ask the weird questions and we'll answer them.
I killed my brother. You don't know about him, but I killed him. I just have to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
You can't ask me that question.
Did you kill your brother?
Double jeopardy. You can't ask me that question.
What does that mean? You just told me to. What is this word jeopardy? So their story, the Hills story, it quickly became a legend and shaped American culture. Because this is the first time someone actually, like, sat down and went through the process of what happened. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like why so many of these abduction stories, it's like, we were driving down a road, we were the only ones there, a beam of light came down, we were picked up, they did weird stuff to us, and then next thing we knew it, we were home. Like, this is where that concept originates.
Oh, okay.
They were the first people to, like...
So they never used a beam... No one ever claimed to be beamed up before or even get prodded with needles, whatever you want to call it?
I don't know about the beaming thing, but definitely, yeah, like, people have never been like, yeah, they stuck us with needles and did all this weird testing and, like...
And the Gray's description, too, right?
No, I know, I saw one part that was saying that there was a show that they watched... I don't think it was Twilight Zone, but it was something similar to that, where they had they had an alien that kind of was like small with big eyes.
Okay.
which was like a thing that was trying to discredit what they're saying. But I don't know if there was ever like a true definition of grace at this time. Yeah. So Barney Hill died in 1969.
Oh, he died soon after.
Yeah. And he died from a cerebral hemorrhage, which I talked to Riley, who she's a healthcare student, and she said that that's basically like a stroke.
Yeah.
You know, it's bleeding from like the
brain berry.
Yeah. From like the brain or the like the spine, which usually leaks into the brain. All right, let's get back to the deaths here. Betty died in 2004.
Whoa!
Yeah, I thought that was pretty wild.
She did not have that instance where you die like a year after.
No.
Ooh, she was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm gonna keep living this out. So she was 84 when she died, and she remained a huge believer of aliens all of her life. Like, it wasn't just like she like disappeared. Like she
was an advocate.
She didn't lose steam. She traveled all over the place giving speeches about her experience. Apparently there's a good picture of her like before she passed away, like wearing a shirt that was like, it just said, "I was abducted and all I got was this shitty t-shirt." But yeah,
at least she has a good sense of humor about it.
But yeah, so that's I think that's about all I'm gonna. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to cover on this, but I think that's where we should cut it.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show you that that once you're abducted, it kind of stays with you for the rest of your life. I mean, I know a lot of people. There's a lot of fakers out there, you know,
and I don't want to like. I'm not going to say like, oh, it's the greatest story ever. But I'm not trying to cut you up. I'm thinking, I thought it was really interesting to hear like the original case of the abduction. Like, this is the first one,
or
and
at
this
least
is like
American abduction.
No, I mean, this is the first world publicized one.
Okay,
and so this like brought the idea of like how it went down to everybody.
That's super interesting. I mean, just from like a creative, like, even if they are like lying about this,
they did a good job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just from like a storytelling or like creative standpoint of creating this scenario and sticking to it. And I mean, that must be hard. She's dead now, right?
Yeah, she's been dead for a while.
You would think that she would mention it on her
years.
deathbed, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think if something did happen and it wasn't aliens, then they definitely believe that like aliens were there or something. Like, who knows what happened? Like,
oh no, like they like,
I don't know.
They like passed the things. Like, people say like they didn't make it up. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but like they 110% truly believe that this happened to them.
You know what's weird?
Whether it did or didn't.
I don't know why aliens have to keep kidnapping people, because I know so many weirdos out there who would like gladly, willingly go up and be like, "You can do whatever you want to me."
And maybe they
experiments on me.
I mean, that's part of the thing. It's like, I'm not going to tell anybody. Do it. Go to town. What's your name?
Do you remember in Independence Day where they're on top of the building and they're like, "Hey," and they're like all the signs and they're like, "Welcome, welcome." Like,
yeah, like,
those
take
people.
me. Yeah,
exactly, those people.
And honestly, that could. I've never really thought about that, but that's a possibility that there are people who could be like willingly like, "Yo, snatch me up, do whatever you want." And they get back down and they're happy as a clam, being like, you know, I'm never going to tell you. I'm going to take this to my grave because that meant that much to me, I guess.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
I feel like you can't keep that in, though. But who cares if those people talk? Because those people talk anyway, and no one believes them. Yep. So it's like, it's the same thing with conspiracy theories. Just like, let them talk. It's like, you know, if you say something so crazy, people aren't going to believe you anyway. So you have to have proof to back it up. So. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, did people probably were like, "Oh yeah, gravity, huh?"
I mean, yeah, it just goes to show you about like when they said that the the Earth revolves around the sun, not the sun revolving around the Earth. People were like, "You're fucking nuts," and he's like, "No, I don't think I'm nuts." And they're like, "Yeah, you are. You're crazy."
Yeah.
There's people who have been ostracized for science and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah.
I mean,
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, but
I'm not crazy. You're drunk.
I'm not drunk. I've been probed.
I'm not drunk. I'm a scientist.
I experiment with beer.
My science. Don't judge my science. Give me money, country. Country, man, give me science. I need more money for my science.
Give him $1. I want to watch this. Okay, I think that concludes this episode. Let's end on that fucking note.
I need my science. Now come on, beef jerky. My son's
I don't know who the fuck you're trying to be right now, but fuck. Okay, well,
I'm trying to be that guy that tried to stop us outside of Vaughn's on the way home.
I don't like that.
Penny.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry. I didn't even say sorry I didn't have any money because I had no idea what he said. I was
Yeah,
like,
you just go,
sorry.
well, I'm sorry. We didn't know what he wanted.
Sorry, I'm walking away right now. Yeah, we're assholes. Anyway, okay, that concludes today's episode, and we're glad you guys stuck around for that alien episode. Go to campstrange.com for any hyperlinks to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, send us some scary stories.
Hey, send us money.
We said
Send us money so we can keep making the show.
but yeah, send us any scary stories or weird situations. If you have any alien things going on too, send us that. We need more.
You ever been picked up? Let us know.
Yeah, we've been waiting for more scary stories. We haven't really gotten any ones yet, so send them on in. We love to read them. Rate, review, subscribe, please.
We broke 50, by the way.
We broke 50. Yeah, we did.
Pretty fucking cool.
Sitting at 49 for a while, so let's just keep it going, guys.
That last one was awesome. Let's get to 100, huh?
Yeah, so we really appreciate it when you guys do that because that just makes us more visible and more solidified as a good podcast, even though we might not be.
Hey, this is real.
Yeah, so
which is still strange to me.
What?
It always freaks me out whenever I pick up my Apple podcast thing and it's like, oh, new episode from Camp Strange, and it's says our names on it. I'm always like, holy shit!
You're like, we are not qualified.
We're so unqualified that makes us qualified.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. I have a college degree in this shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so good at it.
Yeah, I could tell. You're so good. You're super good, man.
That's why I do this as a full-time job.
But, yeah, we really appreciate you guys as well. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if you guys weren't sending us those, nice messages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's very kind, and he said, hey, I'd like more alien episodes, and he reached out, and we're like, oh, totally.
You got what you want, motherfucker.
Hopefully we could pepper some more in there because I know aliens are very strange.
My next one might be a little
little alien-esque.
Debatable.
So cool. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope we helped you on your commute or your boring work day. And,
we love you.
Kisses
that was a good sound.
And hugs. No, it wasn't. I didn't like that.
One.
But,
Gary, that was from Gary.
That was Gary. He blew a kiss.
Forgot he was still here. He's so silent.
Shut up. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and remember to stay strange.